all of these overnight cues impact our own markets. We have our research team joining in with how the trade setup looks like and the stocks that are likely to be in the news as well. First up, Vivek joins in to get all the market cues we need to watch out for. Vivek, good morning. It was a strong rebound from Friday's trading session. How's the setup looking like this morning?
Good morning. You're absolutely right. Much more brighter outlook going into this particular week. Remember, it's an earnings heavy week. Indian markets rebounded quite sharply on Friday, and overnight cues too are quite positive. The US markets ended at record high levels. All indices in the US ended with gains. When you're talking about oil prices, very supportive. They ended lower, in fact, almost 7% lower in the week, gone by. Brent futures now hovering around the $73 a barrel mark. Now, talking about the Indian markets, remember, they managed to pay a significant amount of the weekly losses that they were facing last week in Friday's trading session. What aided on Friday, it was mainly the banking and the financial heavyweights that aided the up move. HDFC Bank, ICICI, all of them, as well as Axis Bank, aided the up move. And when you're talking about, some of the down move stocks, city gas distribution companies, and they'll continue to remain in focus, all of them saw significant selling pressure as far as Friday is concerned. Quite a lot of earnings that has trickled in post-market hours on Friday. So HDFC Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, RBL, MCX, Oberoi Realty, all of them will react. And they are all significant heavyweights, especially the banking names as far as the banking index is concerned. So the market will take cues from those earnings reactions. Earnings today, the main one today is Ultratech Cement. Eyes will be on the cement pack post Ultratech's numbers.
Interesting, Vivek. Thanks a lot for that. All eyes will be, of course, on the reaction to a lot of these banking results. Over to Winnie now. Would list out the stocks you need to watch out for. Winnie, good morning. What's on your list?
Good morning. So I'm going to start with those banking names that are going to be in focus. HDFC Bank, a steady quarter that's coming from the company. We're seeing NII growth of around 10% on a year-on-year basis and a very flattish growth on a quarter-on-quarter basis. Let's keep an eye out on that. The provisions have seen a bit of a downtick. So just a steady quarter, could be a bit under pressure today. We'll watch out for HDFC Bank. We also have Kotak Bank that's in focus. Not a great set of numbers that's coming from Kotak Bank. 11% uptick in terms of NII. Operating profits seeing an increase of around 10.6%. This is on a year-on-year basis, while the asset quality GNPA is at 1.48% versus 1.39%, so slight bit of an increase there, so keeping an eye on that. Tech Mahindra also reported its numbers. Overall, we're seeing the profits have seen a sharp jump up this time as well. 46% uptick in terms of the profit on a quarter-on-quarter basis. Rupee revenue, that's seeing an increase as well, so that's rupee revenues up by around 3%, so keep an eye out on Tech M. Dalmia Bharat, weak set of numbers reported by the company, lower than expected realizations, higher than expected costs. Realizations were down by around 9% YOY and 6% QOQ, keeping an eye out on that. Lastly, JSW Steel also is in focus on the back of acquisition that they made, 100% stake in Thyssen Group Electric Steel India for 4,051 crores. PNC Infra, there's a bit of a setback coming in as Ministry of Road Transport and Highway India has disqualified the company and 2 subsidiaries to participate in tenders for 1 year. And Garden Reach Shipbuilders also in focus. They've received a letter of intent from Naval Physical and Oceanographic Laboratory, Government of India and Ministry of Defence, and this is for around 491 crores. So on the back of that, we could see some focus.
Interesting news there coming in. Vinny, thanks a lot for that. And lastly, Mangalam joins in with cues from the FNO space. Mangalam, good morning. 25,000 holds the key for the Nifty. What's the setup on the FNO side looking like?
Well, if you look at the indices on Friday, there was a bit of an uptick that we saw. The GIFT Nifty is indicating a mildly reddish start, but nothing really to worry about. What was important was that the Nifty snapped a 3-day losing streak on Friday. In fact, on Friday, the Nifty's close was about 104 points higher, which implies that it gained about 104 points for the 378 points that it lost in the previous 3 trading sessions. And it was the Nifty Bank, as you can see, which led from the front with a near 1.5% gain. And that will be in focus as well. What's important, however, is that, the Nifty's low on Friday was very close to the 100-day moving average. So does that become an important technical support or not is something that we'll have to watch out for. The FIs, they continue to sell in our markets. No problems out there. I mean, no respite out there, let's put it that way, but no problems either because the DIIs are buying the FII selling dollar to dollar as well. What was interesting also is that on Friday's up move, because the FIs were so heavily net short, they had to cover some of their short positions. So that led to about 7,000 short contracts being covered. But despite that, the FI net positions are still 1.6 lakh on the obverse, on the short side, and their long exposure is just 34%. On the other side, the clients, the HNIs, they are 2.17 lakh contracts net positive, and net long exposure is 63% as well. telling you that at the lower level, of course, there would be some support coming in for our markets. Where are those lower levels? Friday's low comes into picture because the 24,600 put has been pretty active. And on the way up, we'll watch out for the 25,050 to 25,000 mark itself, given the call writing that we've seen at 25,050 and 24,900. Just keep an eye out on the 50-day moving average and the 20-day moving average. Nifty Bank holds the key. It rallied about 1,000 points from the lows on Friday and conquered the 100 and the 50-day moving average. It's the 20-day moving average which will be in focus. Watching out for Aarti Industries and Birlasoft, which has entered F&O ban. And out of F&O ban is Manappuram and RBL Bank also reacting to results today.
Swinging like a pendulum between its 50 and 100 DMA is the Nifty Bank. Thank you so much, Mangalam, for that update. Time